Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, back with some more reports of what it's like to play battleships with DeadEye. So, with the new Commander rework, so far the most apparently just over-the-top and broken skill is DeadEye. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, and today I'm going to be sharing my experiences with playing ships with DeadEye a bit more since the last time we have spoken. So, the video you're watching right now, the match you're watching right now, that is, this is in Yami, the tier 10 Japanese battleship, and having Yamamoto equipped. And Yamamoto right now is only a 19-point commander. I don't have the commander XP to convert him to a 21-point commander, but this is the build I'm using on him right now. And I gotta say, it's pretty broken, because Yami is by far the best ship to take advantage of DeadEye in. Because with Yami, if you have the Unique Upgrade or the Legendary Upgrade, depending upon how old you are, you can get quite literally a quarter of your dispersion gone with this build. By taking Aiming System Mod1, that decreases your maximum dispersion by 7%. Then with the Unique Upgrade, that takes another 7% off of your maximum dispersion at the cost of 13% of your turret traverse speed. So already you're down 14%. And back then, when this was the maximum you could do with reducing Yami's dispersion, the shells were known to pretty much go right where you point. But then you take DeadEye, which is an additional 10% off of your dispersion when you are not detected. Well, not when you're not detected. When there's not a ship within your detection range, that's negative 24% to your dispersion. Negative 24%. Process that. Okay? So what you're watching right now is that. And this is actually a pretty good match to see this on, because there's a moment when a Shimikaze gets within my detection range and I lose the buff, and it's quite apparent how big of an influence this skill is on battleships. And I'm sure most of you by now, if you didn't get a chance to play when my first video went up yesterday talking about the Commander rework after its release, I'm sure most of you have played by now, and boy, just this one skill, it's insanely apparent, the effect of this skill, because battleships now, there's no desire to push, because why would you? I mean, look at this dispersion I'm getting on Yami. Like, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. The shells come out the barrel and they barely move. It seems to be mostly affecting vertical dispersion, because after playing Yami, I went and tried Shikishima, I went and tried Vermont too for about two or four battles each, and yeah, the vertical dispersion now is almost non-existent on these ships with DeadEye, especially again on the Yami with aiming systems and the Unique Upgrade. It's absolutely mental. And yeah, these ships that are great snipers now, well, that were great snipers before, they are absolutely amazing snipers now, especially when they have DeadEye on and active. And of course, this is just, it's not really changing the meta. I've seen a lot of comments saying, oh, this is changing the meta. The meta's so toxic now. Well, the meta was always going in this direction of ships hanging further and further back and not wanting to push in. That's where it was going. Sniping was the direction that the game was going in. All this has done, really, this skill at least, it's just absolutely floored the gas pedal in that direction. So now we are full speed going into sit in the back and snipe. I mean, there's no way around it. Now, it is very obvious, and I've said this in yesterday's video too, this skill is going to get nerfed. It has to be nerfed, because if they don't nerf this skill, then this is what World of Warships is going to be like. There's no way around it. You're not going to get battleship players that are sitting in the back getting this god tier levels of dispersion out of their guns to push. I used to never snipe. I hate sniping. But with this dispersion, like, why not? It's easier for me to do this and get a lot of damage in than to push in. Why would I risk my ship getting burned to death or getting nuked? Or why would I risk losing my DeadEye by pushing in, you know? And this is coming from me. I hate sniping. My aim is terrible because I barely snipe. Keep that in mind too, guys. I'm not a good sniper. So if you put this in the hands of somebody that actually has decent aim at long range, they're just going to dunk on everything. And what's also hilarious too is that cruisers now, if you want to go full optimum gun build on cruisers, get like actually pretty darn good a DPM on cruisers, battleships are outspotting cruisers. Like, in what world do we live in? It's so strange. I mean, it's kind of a meme build, but I mean, honestly, those guns are pretty sweet if you put that build on your cruisers where you have 20 kilometers range, detection range on a Henry. It's pretty funny to watch, and we are going to take a look at replay just like that tomorrow, along with my own experiences, because I'm going to go ahead and try cruisers out now. But yeah, it's a strange time that we are living in, and I mean, geez. Yesterday I said it might just be a thing with the Soviet dispersion gimmick. You know, the further away you are from the target, the worse your dispersion is, and you know, throwing 10% boost on that dispersion, it might just be some weird math glitch, and the dispersion is just godlike. No, it's not. It's like this on most battleships. Now, I haven't tried out the Montana or the Conqueror or the Republic yet, but those are my next on my list to try, and I'll let you guys know how those go, probably just in a pinned comment down below. But from what I've seen here, it's going to be insane, especially the Republic with this type of dispersion. Obviously, maybe not this good because of the Yami's unique upgrade, but still good dispersion on Republic with its reload time and with its guns. Oh god, it's frightening to think of. But yeah, this skill is getting nerfed. It has to be, you know. And again, you know, we're in that era, just like we were at the CV rework, where things were godlike, and then they got nerfed, and then they got buffed a little bit again, and then they got nerfed again. That's what we're in right now. You know, I'm under no impression that this is how it's going to stay, obviously, because this is too much. It really is. And I mean, again, it's just the opposite of what the game needs right now. You know, the changes to the German battleships, their secondaries, and adding in that buff. Now, hey, when you get within your secondary range, you get a 10% reload to your main battery guns. Get a buff there. That was nice. That's a nice skill to encourage people to push and to get within, you know, secondary range, so you get that reload buff to your battleship. That was a good choice, I think. But then they introduced this skill, which just promotes backline sniping on almost every class. You know, like we talked about yesterday, turns the Kremlin's dispersion into a Slava dispersion, turns the Slava's dispersion back into Pobedda's dispersion, and now you get just basically point and click adventure with Yami if you know how to aim. So yeah, I mean, shoot, this was not tested enough. Still, like I said yesterday, this is nowhere near tested enough to be released on time. And this is the most extreme example, of course. You know, Aiming Systems Mod1 Yami with the unique upgrade and with DeadEye. This is probably the biggest change, because if you've played Yami before, you know how Yami's dispersion is. It's not always accurate. The salvos that you're seeing me get out of it now, these are like the 1 in like 100 shot salvos. You know, that one time RNG would be like, all right, we'll let you have it this time, you know, and your shells would all line up nice and straight, and you would dunk on the target. This is now every salvo in Yami almost. I mean, you do see here and there RNG does just thwack my shells, but it's not like before where they would kind of go all over the place. It was kind of normal dispersion, ironically. And what's really weird is too, and I saw some people talking about this in the comment section, I'm having this issue too, is that I've gone from aiming with battleships to kind of going, I'll aim in this general area, the shells should mostly go there, to now where I gotta aim more precisely because the shells are much more precise now. It's kind of funny that you get more accurate guns and it kind of screws with your aiming a little bit. But yeah, this is nuts. This is nuts. I mean, again, you can see when that Shimakaze gets within my detection range, I lose DeadEye for that one salvo. It's back to normal UU Yami dispersion. And then he gets taken out, and it's back to frickin', let me Let me just freaking snipe with these pixels, with these convergent pixel shells now. It's nuts. And I really can't get over that a 10% buff to dispersion is this dramatic. I mean, you know, I guess if your dispersion is higher up there and you get a 10% buff to it, it's a pretty big change. But yeah, this is nuts. This is really nuts. I don't have much more to say about it. It's just this crazy. And I really, again, can't believe this got out of testing. And I know that, you know, they didn't do the most extensive testing on it, but like, did nobody think that this is what was going to happen with this? And I mean, this is probably the most glaring issue of the rework right now, but we're only on day 2 of it. I'm sure there's going to be some build that comes out later for something that's freaking crazy. I've seen some of the destroyer builds, the gunboat destroyer builds. They apparently got the best deal out of this rework. The torpedo DDs did get a pretty nice buff too. CVs, I've heard that it's good. I've heard that it's bad. I haven't tried it myself just yet. But overall, it seems right now battleships are king with DeadEye, especially ships like UU, Yami, and Slav. If you got that thing, slap DeadEye on it and just go blast away now. But yet, this is going to change. It's going to have to be changed. And that's another thing I want to talk about is that they said that they were going to nerf the ships to fit the skills. But I don't see them nerfing every single battleship's dispersion, rather than just cranking DeadEye down a little bit. Like I mentioned yesterday, I think maybe crank it down to like 5% would be a good starting place, because from what I've seen, 10% across the board to at least all the tier 10 battleships is nuts and insane. So maybe like 5%, 7% somewhere in there would be a good starting place. Then you can adjust it from there, wargaming. But yeah, this is too much. And keep in mind too, this is with a 19-point commander. Plus, like all the survivability skills that I did spec into, but I haven't used them at all, because there's just no need to. Because who's going to shoot at me when I'm in the back of the map with a Yami at Yami's max range? Oh, and this is without spotter plane too. I didn't put spotter plane on my Yami, so I can't get the full Yami experience. You know, get the 30-kilometer firing range, which with DeadEye at 30 kilometers, dang, I can imagine what that's like. That's just God. But yeah, this is the most extreme example of DeadEye, the most insane example of DeadEye that I have so far. I'm sure maybe there's somebody out there with, maybe they just got really god RNG for a round with DeadEye 2, which would be freaking nuts. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How's it going for you so far? Have you had a chance to try out DeadEye battleships yet? Because if you haven't, I suggest you do before the skill gets nerfed or the ships get nerfed, again, with how Wargaming said they're going to balance this, because it's freaking nuts, guys. And like I said, we're in that period where things are going to be changing a lot, so I expect this to get nerfed. So there is that to look forward to. And again, if they don't nerf this, I wouldn't know what to say. Anyway, guys, hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. We'll be streaming right here on the channel from 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time to 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We will be trying out some of these crazy builds. We'll be trying out some of the crazy cruiser builds too, and seeing how that all goes. So please come out for the stream here on the YouTube channel and on Twitch as well. Link to that is in the description down below. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.